Adams County, but I'm speaking in regard to situation for people from from Wood County here. I have a handout for the board members. It refers to many of the topics that I'm going to speak to today. Concern has been had regarding the Enbridge pipeline that transverses Wisconsin from Superior down to Delavan. The line originated in 1968 with 2 pipes. Currently there are 4 pipes running side by side in this line. They refer to it as a line, but it's a bundle. It's been used to transport petroleum and natural gas. In 2006, Enbridge, who is the largest pipeline company, transporter of petroleums and such in North America. They're located in Canada. The business is a Canadian concern. They petitioned the state of Wisconsin for a permit to enable them to expand the line. The state went through a rather short process of hearings statewide and eventually let the permit. Construction of the 2 new lines added to the bundle began in 2007 and culminated in a startup in 2008. The 2 lines that were added, one of which is now one of the very largest petroleum transport pipelines in the United States, 42 inches in diameter, was immediately used to transport tar sands products from the Canadian Northwest. It's still doing that. The second line is a return line. I'll give you a little bit of a primer on what tar sands is. When you think of oil, you think of something that you could pour out of a can. Even when you think of standard crude oil, you think of something slippery and easily transportable. It's not the case with tar sands. It's a very low-grade petroleum, and it's contained within earth. They actually do open earth mining to produce this stuff. And to get it to float on a pipeline, it's diluted. And they refer to the concoction that they use or send as dilbit, and that stands for diluted bitumen. The dilutants are one of the concerns that some of the residents in Wood County have. The dilution is a proprietary mixture, and as such, I can't give you each and every one of the ingredients in the thing. But basically, it's a solvent type of a fluid. I do know that it contains hexane and benzene, 2 of which are highly carcinogenic materials. The line that I spoke of, the second line that was put in 2007 and 8, is a return line for that dilutant. They pull that off when it gets down to the refineries and send it back. A couple of words about the line itself and its history. The line went in and it covers 321 miles of the state of Wisconsin. And in that it passes through under, not over, but under 262 waterways in our state. And that doesn't include wetlands. There's over 1,000 acres of wetlands that the line passes through. There have been several incidents, as in leaks in this pipeline since 2007. One in Rusk County, one in Clark County, and one down in Adams County. That was the most recent one, the Grand Marsh spill. Of interest to people from Wood County, the spill that occurred at Grand Marsh had a volume of about 50,400 barrels. And that was an 18-minute spill. The spill contaminated 45,000 tons that 45,000 tons of earth ended up in the Torque landfill right here in Wood County. I can't tell you that I know one way or another whether it was actually treated before it was interred. The only mention that I can find of it on research tells me that it was to be treated. I haven't been able to substantiate that, and I guess at this point it's a moot point. I guess the other mention that I wanted to make about Enbridge is that it has a rather abysmal safety record. It has had experienced over 800 spills in North America since 1999. The 3 spills that occurred here in Wisconsin were due to problems in the manufacture of the pipe that is used to transport. There were the pipe that was manufactured by a company down in Louisiana. When the 3rd spill happened down at Grand Marsh, the federal government, the Pipeline Safety Administration, let Enbridge know that they were not to start the line up until they could prove, or at least state, that every possible repair had been undertaken and that the line was safe to do. I'm a former pipe fitter by trade, and one of the things that I know about is safety relating to piping. And when you're talking about high pressures, like the 400 pounds per square inch that we're talking about here in this line, the piping is actually tested and identified by X-ray to make sure that there are no inclusions in the weld as the pipe is manufactured. Most of these pipes are seamed pipes. That brings me to another point in the line. The current line is 42 inches in diameter, and it is transporting 400,000 barrels of tar sands oil per day. Enbridge is currently asking the state of Wisconsin to allow it to do modifications to the pumping facilities that pump the tar sands here in our state. There is an addition that is being put on at the station right here in Wood County. We have a pumping station just south of Vesper. It's on Young Road. And if you drive by there, you can see the construction that's going on right now. Whether they're doing it ahead of the permit or not, I'm not at liberty to say. However, what's being done is that these pumping stations are being ramped up to be able to put about 1,400 pounds of pressure into that line. That's from 400. And that's going to enable tar sands to be transported at a rate of 1.2 million barrels per day. That is compared to the 870,000 barrels per day that the Keystone XL pipeline would be capable of should President Obama allow it. Is a far greater sort of by 25%. So I guess to wrap it up, it's the safety of the company has been poor. Their relations with the state, with our state, have been poor. The lines pass through people's properties, and they don't receive any remuneration from the company itself, other than an initial contact. I know of one gentleman who told me that they came to do some work and to do an addition to the line on his property. He asked, well, what am I going to get out of it? They offered him $2,000, and he was told, he asked, well, how about my taxes? Why don't you pick up the taxes? Because that land is being inundated by your pipeline. I shouldn't be paying that tax. And he was told, no, period, no discussion. $1.1 million were paid by Enbridge to the state of Wisconsin for its environmental transgressions in the running of this most recent pair of lines.
Just to let you know, you have 5 minutes.
Okay, and I'm coming right to the end. Given the facts that I've laid out, there's plenty more of information in the package that I've given you, gentlemen. We're asking you to join Dane and Jefferson counties in urging the DNR to disallow the use of this line until a proper environmental impact statement has been filed. Senator Wirch from the 22nd district in our state has also climbed on board. He sent a letter to Kathy Stepp last week asking for the same thing. So basically, I guess that's pretty much all I've got to say, other than thank you for hearing me.
Okay, there's 4 minutes left. Does anybody else from the group on the 61 wish to say anything? To let you know that we're not going to answer anything until we get to that subject on the agenda, and then I assume you have somebody here that's going to introduce a resolution to the board, and I believe Bill is going to introduce a resolution to the board. And then we may ask questions, but however, the discussion ends after. So is there anybody else wish to speak on this?
Go ahead, Joey.
Oh, I guess in addition to what.
It is your Joe Ansel.
Joe Ansel, yeah,
Former DNR.
yeah, I
There.
live in the town of Grand Rapids. In addition to what he was saying about Enbridge, in the state of Michigan in 2010, they had a pipeline spill there of their line, and 1 million gallons of tar sands crude spilled into the Kalamazoo River. And 4 years later, and $1 billion later, it's still not totally cleaned up there. And in addition to the pressure, these chemicals they add are very abrasive to the pipe, so that adds another factor in there. Thank you.
Rick, did you?
I just have a quick comment. As has been noted, this company, Enbridge, a Canadian company, a foreign company, kind of has a history of oil spills. And I know if or when one occurs in Wood County, people will be asking, well, why didn't we do something about this before there was this problem? I live on within sight of the pipeline. I live on the river. I can see where the pipeline goes underneath the Wisconsin River. That's probably the primary walleye spawning area up just below the Nakusa Dam. And if there ever is a spill into that river, it's pretty much going to decimate the Lake Petenwell, Castle Rock. And I know that's kind of more south into Adams County, but this the Wood County gets a lot of benefit from the tourism that comes up into that area. So I guess I know lots of times politicians kind of get blamed when things go wrong, and a question that probably is, and not always rightly so, because sometimes that comes